guys know, we were in Iceland last week. And I am working on a really cool Iceland video, but unfortunately, it's not ready yet. Sorry. So instead, we're gonna open this box that Chris got sent in the mail. I think it has some treats in it from around the world. Anyways, we're gonna get him to come in, we're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna buy myself some time to think about what the heck this video is gonna be about. So anyways, Chris, technically you, ow.
Hi.
Ow, you sat on me.
Yeah, it's me.
Technically-
This is my couch now. Are you just trying to like buy time with like treats?
I also just really wanna know what's inside because I like snacks. By the way, do you remember that guy that commented on my video
Yes.
last week and he was like, why are girls so obsessed with food? Here's my response to you. Do you think about food every day? Do you eat food every day? Are you obsessed with food? Why are you doing
I'm a support. I'm the support for your conversation. Okay, quick side note, not a sponsored video. They were like, hey, do you want treats? And I was like, I like treats. So this company, it like curates treats. So
And it's called treats.
it's like they'll send you like a treat from like any country around the world, like a bunch of stuff from like that country. So we get to find out which country it's from. So open this bad boy.
Ba-ba-da-da.
Well, that's
Germany.
That's a picture of a German castle, ladies
Did
and
they
gentlemen.
know that you're German? Oh, you're gonna love
Amazing.
all of this stuff. That is
Oh, this is so German.
Kinder
Pizza lot.
chocolate. Do we get to sample it as we go?
Yeah, sample it now.
Okay. Sample it now.
Eat it now.
Sample
I
it
want
now.
it now. Salted
Here,
glazen.
this is my favorite thing we've ever done on camera.
But so right. If I ever do a meetup, please bring me Kinder Bueno. I will
You
love
will
you
love
forever. The website, by the way, is trytreats.com if you guys want to like sign up.
I think they're fried peanuts because they feel a lot lighter than normal
Fried
peanuts.
peanuts.
Have you had these?
No.
Okay, open them. There's a little thing in here. Oh God.
What are your thoughts on this one?
It tastes like the texture of a Cheeto, but it's like it had peanut butter on it instead.
Oh my God, that's exactly what it is.
Thank you.
That's the perfect way to
If you
describe
give me
it.
time to think, I come up with decent things.
And they also have a
This is
recipe
good.
for sauteed German sausages, and Germans
Oh,
love
they had recipes?
their sausages.
Thanks.
That could have poked your eye out.
I was literally going to take that out of your hand and you threw it. How
I
many
need-
coffees have you had
No,
today?
you.
Okay, it's time for you to go.
Okay, that was fun. All right, back to
So glad
back
you
to your
enjoyed
regularly programmed video from Elizabeth.
She has a lot to handle sometimes. So now that Chris is gone, I'm gonna give you guys some travel photography, videography tips because I know that whenever you end up in a new location and you built that trip up in your mind to be like full of epic photos, it can seem really overwhelming once you get there, and oftentimes you can actually forget to actually enjoy your trip. Enjoy your trip. Set some time aside from taking photos. Maybe when you're at a new location, take all the photos you want and then remember to put your camera down for a bit and just enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, you only get one life. You only get to enjoy it once. And it's useful to have those photos later. And I mean, as a photographer, the greatest thing we can do is, create more art. But at the same time, you want to remember what it's like to look at that place through your own eyes and not through a camera lens. So I think it's important to have both. Definitely take those photos at the location wherever you are because you'll have those to look at when you're older and, years from then. But at the same time, remember to step back and enjoy it. The next tip that was super important for us, I literally don't know what we would have done without it, is finding a local guide in that location to show you around. So in our case, before we went to Iceland, we went on Instagram and we were actually just looking at other people's Instagram accounts with Iceland photos, and we ended up coming across an account called Icelandic Explorer. So this is actually a guy named Gunnar, and Chris has talked about him a little bit on his channel already. Gunnar is a super sweet guy, amazing photographer. We slid right into his DMs and we were like, hey Gunnar, we love your photography. We'd love to meet up with you when we're in Iceland. And super nice of him, he offered to show us around and take us on a bit of a photography excursion. But he didn't have to do that, so we really wanted to make it worth it for him. So we were shooting vlogs while we're there, and we were sure to feature him in those and put him in our stories a little bit to help give him a bit of promotion as well. But we also bought him some gifts. We bought him some Canadian maple syrup. We bought him a bottle of gin. We just really wanted to thank him for his help. So what I would suggest for you guys is when you're going to a new location and you've reached out to that person online or whoever it is, you can definitely offer an exchange of services. Maybe it's you'll take some portraits of them, or you'll feature them on your Instagram account, or maybe you'll buy them some gifts as well. offer something in return for their help. If you're not a photographer and if you don't have a following and you're like, I have nothing else to offer these people, then just offer to pay them for their time. At the end of the day, it's going to be super valuable for you to have someone in that spot that knows where to go, that knows these secret locations. Like in our case, Gunnar knew of this hot spring that we had no idea existed and was super secluded, and we got great photos there. And he was able to show us that location. We also heard that Iceland has not the greatest food, and Gunnar ended up taking us to a couple of really great restaurants that we enjoyed. If it's reaching out through someone on Instagram to guide you around, or whether it's reaching out to an actual tour guide and paying them for their services to show you around, I think that is a super, super important idea whenever you're traveling. My third tip is a mistake that I often make, and it's never put your camera away. I have a bad habit of packing up my camera thinking that, oh, that's all the photos I'm gonna take for today, or I'm done at that location. I'm not gonna take any till we get to the next spot. Wrong. Elizabeth, you're wrong. Keep your camera out at all times, because you never know when you're going to drive by a certain spot or see a flock of birds flying by, you know, something that you might miss if you don't have your camera out and ready to go. We actually had a few times this happened in Iceland. There's a photo of Chris under this moon that was perfectly aligned under these mountains. There were a few times that we just drove by fields of horses that were lit beautifully, and there's actually a pond full of swans as well. And if my camera wasn't ready to go, then I would have missed it, because I would have scared them away just getting out of the car and, you know, getting my bag out and unzipping my bag and taking my camera out. So always make sure your camera is out and ready to go, because you never know what you're gonna come across. My last point is take as many photos of a location as humanly possible. When you get to a spot, say it's a waterfall, for example, people have a bad habit of just taking that one wide shot or that standard photo you would normally use to capture that location, which is great, and that photo probably turned out wonderfully. But when you get home and you're posting them to your Instagram account, you only have one photo, because all of the others are just like slightly different copies of that same photo. So when you're in a location, when you're traveling, try and take as many different photos as you can of that location. So switch your lens, switch your angle, try something different with the lighting if you can. Just try and get a variety of photos so you have a ton to post, and maybe pushing yourself to do that will allow you to take a photo you wouldn't have normally taken, but that ended up being your favorite photo after all. So really try and maximize your location and take a bunch of different styles of photos while you're there. As always, I really just encourage you guys to just try shit, because you never know when things are gonna go totally wrong or totally right, and you won't be able to get there unless you just try. So with that said, if you liked this video, please hit that like button below. If you're not subscribed, or if you haven't hit that notification bell, please do, and then you'll see my actual full Iceland video hopefully coming out next week. I'm super excited about it. So I'll see you guys next week.